like Brandon Clay.
Yeah. I want it all.
All right, welcome back here to Sewanee Sports Academy Court 4, home of the Prospects Nation TV webcast for this weekend. This matchup features the Georgia Hoopstars against FBC Black. I'm Marcus Burnett, joined by J.L. Hemingway. We'll be calling the action for you here in another semifinal matchup. We switched brackets. We've left from the Stephen Peck PSB bracket, which is where our first two semifinals held out of, and here this bracket named after B. Clay himself. Hemingway, DeAndre Pringle with the ball right now, going up against number 24, the Hoopstars, Tiana Swearinger. That'll be a fun matchup to watch throughout the course of this game.
Several matchups that we're anxious to watch here, Marcus. Two very solid local teams here, the Hoopstars and FBC. Two great guys on the sideline, Brian Harmon for FBC and J.D. Davis for the Hoopstars. Guys that always find ways to get quality prospects out there on the court. And we'll have a good matchup here for sure.
McKenna Puenge off on that first three-pointer. FBC coming the other way. That shot's off. Rebounded inside by number 42 for the Hoopstars, Brianna Saunders. Comes Frazier the other way. Caitlin Duncan getting it done on the glass. First points of the game, therefore the Hoopstars, 2-0 advantage.
When you look at the Hoopstars lineup, it really starts along the, or starts in the backcourt, I should say, with Alex Frazier, number 1 in white, and of course, as we mentioned, Tiana Swearinger, number 20. Both of those kids scoring threats. Both of them can run the point or play off the ball for sure. And then on the wing, of course, McKenna Puenge, shooting specialist. When she gets hot, the Hoopstars definitely have a very good chance of winning. And then along the front line, you mentioned Caitlin Duncan, number 13, forward player that can also play on the perimeter. She'll be asked to play a little bit more on the interior with the lack of size that JD has along that front line. But Saunders, Brianna Saunders out of Stevenson High School, developing post player that has really made some great strides along the years. So Hoopstars always a perennial threat here at PSB events to get to that championship day.
FBC with the ball right now. Odin looks inside. Nice defense there by Saunders, who wrestles it away. Unfortunately for the Hoopstars, they turn it over. FBC has it now. Here's Pringle. You talk about some of the pieces on this FBC side of things going against these Hoopstars. Pringle key for him. Marquise, who you'll see battle Saunders inside for the majority of this game. There's a lot to have to deal with. She's number 33 in the blue jerseys.
Yeah, I really like this guard combo of Pringle and Dominique Odin, number 1 in blue and number 11 in blue. Yeah. And then don't forget Miracle Gray, number 10 up here at the top of the key. The 3-guard lineup right there allows them to be able to handle the ball effectively, and all 3 of them are also threats to be able to put it on the floor and to get points as well too. You mentioned Marquise playing there in the high post right now, number 33 in blue. Just a freshman, played at Archer High School alongside the Newby sisters. She was a very big part of the reason why not only they were region champs this year, but also finished runner-up in Class 6A basketball.
Yeah.
Talk about a 6'2", 6'3" post player that can score around the rim. You can see her blocking out right there on the offensive end. As a matter of fact, great hands, soft touch. She's definitely a threat to score each time.
Duncan with a nice 3-pointer from the outside. You touched on some of the things she's asked to do. One of the more underrated players for being able to be so versatile and do the different things you need her to do out there on the floor.
I really like Duncan's game a lot. Had a chance to work with her up close and personal at Adrian Penland's APB showcase back in March. She really showed out there. You know, you talk about a kid that's, 6'1", 6'2", right there in that area, but she can handle the ball on the perimeter. You saw her ability to hit the three-point shot. What she showed at that showcase was her ability to pass. So in spots, if you need her, to play the so-called Scottie Pippen, point forward, she is skilled enough to be able to do that. But at the same time, she can put her back to the basket and be able to score versus a smaller defender.
Marquise working inside. She's going to be fouled by Saunders and go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
And there we see Marchise's ability to rebound the basketball and now draw the foul and get to the line.
As she continues to work on her free throw shot, that'll be an area of development. She's got a lot of the other pieces that will continue to get better, but you can tell she's getting more comfortable trying to get to that free throw line and with confidence.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to have her on the broadcast last week, or I should say a couple of weekends ago at the Spring Showdown.
Yeah.
And she was productive in that setting. Not always consistent from the free throw line, but you got to love her tools, her size, her skill all together. And that's one of those things, free throw shooting. Every young kid has one area of the game that they kind of have to close up, a hole, so to speak.
Yeah.
If that's the biggest thing that she has, against her right now, then she's in pretty good shape. Nice back to the basket move there by Odom. Can't get it to fall. I don't really view that as necessarily a big concern of weakness for Lindsay, because quite honestly, her form is very solid. Just some repetition and, just learning your own shot of why you're missing things will be able to develop over the years.
Frazier gets it inside. Going to be a traveling violation
by Uche Ibe Bunjo. I am more than positive I butchered that name, but we'll just say that Uche, I should say, gets called for the travel call.
It's going to bring us to a timeout here in the first half. 10 minutes, 50 seconds left to play. We appreciate you joining us here in the first half of this matchup. We've already done 2 Prospects Nation TV webcasts. The first one featured a victory for Georgia Pistols Martin over the Carolina All-Stars, and their opponent in the championship game will be Team Pointer Elite, who just finished a victory over the FBC Martin version here of this FBC program. So this will determine the first spot in the Brandon Clay PSB Bracket Championship. And still a 5-1 ball game here. 10:44 left to play here in the first half. You see some pressure being applied by the Hoopstars. Pringle in a tough place over there. Ball last touch by the Hoopstars. It'll stay with FBC. You see Kyle Moore over there just by the official, set to inbound the ball. Don't often get a chance to see him this early in the season, or a lot of times anytime during the season with this travel schedule, and him being National Director of Scouting, or should I say International Director of Scouting.
Yes, that's right. Kyle, it would be an understatement to say a big part of what we do. In many ways, he is what we do. He covers the national scene, like you said for us. He's already been in Dallas. He was actually out on the West Coast at Chris Hansen's, our own Chris Hansen's Check Me Out showcase there in LA. Nice finish there by Uche. But Kyle Moore, you'll be able to read many of his articles on ProspectsNation.com. And he, alongside of me and Brandon Clay, both keep the JumpOffPlus.com updated. That's our scouting report for our college subscriber family. But I can remember when Kyle came on board with Team PSB back in like 2007. And ever since then, his roles just continue to grow.
Great team, being able to provide different elements of coverage here for these players. And credit to them, they do a great job giving us a lot to cover as we see Frazier with the elbow jumper. No good. Duncan right there picking up the pieces. Her attempt won't go either. And it'll be FBC's ball that's in the hands of Odin. Odin all the way to the rack. She misses. Second attempt is no good. Each team kind of taking turns getting an offensive rebound, unable to cash in so far. Frazier can't get it to go, but again, another opportunity. As teams are getting shot attempts in twos, it seems, each possession, just unable to get it to go.
Yeah, it seems to be a lid on the rim here. Not a lot of scoring here early on, 7-2.
Pringle with it. Nice defense by Caitlin Duncan, and she gets the block on Deja Williford-Kelly. Swearinger loses her footing.
Good pass, but deflected out of bounds. Both teams' defenses really disrupting the other team's rhythm, I guess you could say. And quite honestly, what you need to have, in these situations is, somebody to take the lead, to be able to calm and collect and be able to get those quality looks in the half court.
Duncan gets it up top. Here's Beeman with it. Cross-court pass, Swearinger for three. That one won't go down. Hoopstars trying to tie it up. Jasmine Robinson with the floater. No good. Ball's going to be last touched by FBC. It'll go back to the Hoopstars.
Jasmine Robinson, a young kid, 2017 prospect, point guard, very talented, out of the Augusta area. Joining this FBC team this year. She's definitely one to watch.
Dominique Olden going to be called for the foul there. Back into the game for the Hoopstars, number 42, Brianna Saunders. Also checking into the game, number 24, Raquel Cranston. Swearinger with the floater along the baseline.
Yeah, that's what she can do. She showed us that a few weeks ago at the Spring Showdown. Swearinger, I think, by nature is a point guard, but she's a scoring point guard, which means that you can take her off the ball. You can put her, at that shooting guard position. A nice left-hand hook there by Marchese, can't get it to fall. But Swearinger has great touch, at 10, 12 feet. Very good touch of being able to shoot over even taller players.
Yeah, Swearinger just kind of like a Levance Fields for this team. Levance Fields, the short guard that used to play at Pitt. Not the tallest guard, but, handles it, is able to knock down that floater, gets others involved. Does a lot for this Hoopstars team. It's just a 9-2 ball game. Tough shot right there by Cranston. Oh, correction, that was Beeman on that miss. Beeman off on the shot. Now it's in the hands of Swearinger. That three-pointer's off. There's Jilla Mold with the ball. Now she gets it over to Robinson. Williford-Kelly has it stripped away. Hemi, I know it's a lot easier to play, what they say, armchair quarterback, but, be able to criticize from this seat but that was a 1-on-3 break, and she took the deepest pull-up jumper possible on that last possession.
Yeah, I think, and that's exactly what Coach Davis is talking about right now. He's like, hey, settle down a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know, the game kind of got going back and forth right there, and occasionally you can get a little too excited.
Yeah.
But FBC gets their second bucket of the game. That's Tatum Ragsdale on the other end. And look what happens right here. You settle yourself. You get a quality shot. Swearinger, your go-to player, you know, at the moment, hits that three-point jumper, giving you a 12-4 lead.
Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by FBC. Back over to the Hoopstars. They have an 8-point advantage. 12-4 ball game. 5:29 left to play here in the first half. Checking into the game for the Hoopstars, number 32, Bernice McGriff, as well as number 23, Brianna McGee. Going inside, Saunders. Won't go in off the glass. Marchese and McGee go down to the deck to get it. And it's going to go over to FBC. Substitution in for FBC Black, number 34, Ariel Joyner. Out of Henry County High School, home of the Warhawks. Ragsdale over to Robinson. Marchese wants it inside.
And you see the pressure that Marchese can put on a defense. She established that good low block position, and Saunders knew that she was immediately in trouble because some post players you can just play dead behind and they're not a threat to score. Marchese, on the other hand, is a threat to score. Saunders knew that if she didn't get her off that spot, she was going to be in trouble. Unfortunately for Saunders, she grabbed her and threw her to the side and got caught for the foul.
Yeah. Hoopstars turning up the defensive pressure. Robinson finds a way to split through the defenders, misses the shot though, and here come the Hoopstars the other way. Ragsdale with the defense. We'll see if she can finish here on the other end. Answers that question, and she gets the front end of a potential three-point play the hard way.
Tatum Ragsdale, 2016 prospect, Mill Creek High School, just up the road here, plays for Coach Ashley Phillips. Had a big sophomore season for the Lady Hawks. There's a lot to like about Ragsdale. Talk about length and skill. You see the follow through at the free throw line, although it's off. She's a kid that can play around the arc. She can shoot the three pretty effectively. But the other parts of her game that are really coming together, you can see the activity on the defensive end. I've spoke to several college coaches, you know, about her and the prospects of her playing basketball, and she's going to be definitely one of those kids that Coach Harmon is going to utilize for years to come.
Beeman just knocked down the mid-range. She gets a steal as well. Can't get that bucket to go, but she's got another steal. Ball's loose. Olden picks it up, and looks like Coach Harmon is going to get a timeout. Coach Harmon looked like he might have wanted a foul call there.
Yeah, there was a lot that just went on right there, Marcus. I'm not sure that I can recount all the turnovers and loose balls and missed layups that I just saw right there, but plenty of action here this Saturday morning.
We've got 3 minutes, 48 seconds left to play here in the first half of this one. 8-point advantage for the Georgia Hoopstars. Hasn't really been an offensive barn burner so far up to this point. Early on, you had a lot of shots that you think would fall for both teams, but just wouldn't stay down. Olden to Ragsdale. Miracle Gray has it. She's guarded by McKenna Puenge, who's only got 1 3-pointer attempt so far here in the first half. Doing a great job moving her feet on defense.
Yeah.
But she, you know, they called the 5 seconds, but she earned about 8 seconds.
I like it. I like that a lot from McKenna. That's an area of her game that she could be very, very good at. We know about her shooting ability. We know about her offensive ability. But if there's an area of her game that we would like to see, you know, definitely grow, and for her to be, honestly, an impact player, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
That's showing me a lot. She's got good length, you know, taller than even what her sister Helena was, you know, as a former Hoopstars player herself. Her sister was a very good on-ball defender. McKenna showing that it runs in the family, that McKenna herself could be every bit as good of a defender too.
Foul going to go against Saunders. Like Ragsdale right there, being able to have a, you know, a smaller and quicker guard guarding her, but still able to, you know, get around her and help set up this free throw opportunity by Kyra Dixon.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with Ragsdale. And in many ways, you could compare her to a Caitlin Duncan type, you know, with the versatility. Ragsdale may be a little bit more of a shooting specialist than even Duncan is, but definitely the similarities are there, you know, with the length and the skill too.
Free throws good by Dixon. 14-8 ball game, 6-point advantage for the Hoopstars. Swearinger over to Frazier. Now Wingate has it. She steps inside. Good decision right there, even though the shot won't stay down. Oden using the off arm a little bit. Oh, last touch by the Hoopstars. It'll stay with FBC.
And although Oden didn't get that shot to fall, I like the decision. You know, she didn't just fire up, you know, some wild, you know, kind of one-footed floater, you know, high off the glass. She did try to, you know, kind of corral herself and might have even drawn a foul right there that wasn't called, but nevertheless, I thought it was a pretty heady play.
Wingate, second 3-point attempt. She misses, but Frazier's right there with the rebound.
Notice that was set up by Swearinger. Swearinger came, faced the bucket, gave a good, strong ball fake, drew the defense out, got McKenna open in the corner, and then Alex Frazier finishes it off with the offensive rebound.
Dixon, the bucket and the harm. Kyra Dixon out of Collins Hill High School makes it a 16-10 ball game. She gets one more from the free throw line.
Good couple of possessions here by Dixon. Being productive, as you can see here. In the lane, finishing. Opportunity for a 3-point play, and she finishes it off.
Pulls FBC to within 5 points. Wingate, step back 3. No good. Rebound by Dominique Oden. And again, we see that defense being applied by Wingate. That was a tough position for Oden to be in. She had Wingate with her step-by-step as well as reinforcements waiting on her.
Yeah, great job there by the Hoopstars of speeding the game up.
Going inside for Dixon. I think Swearinger, Tiana Swearinger going to pick up the foul there. Wingate going to have a seat for the Hoopstars. Back into the game, number 23, Brianna McGee. Tia Shorter with it for FBC. Inside to Dixon. Nice defense inside there by the Hoopstars. So we're under the minute mark here in the first half.
Good skip pass. Got a good look at it, just didn't fall right there. I appreciate the skip pass. At times, one of the lost arts in the game of basketball.
So we're going to have a timeout, 43 seconds left to play here in the first half. I think one thing is safe to say, we'll definitely have a little bit more offensive production on the scoreboard there in the second half than we did here in the first.
Well, let's hope so. Otherwise, we'll just have to chalk it up to good defense. But you know, at this point, both of these teams are doing a good job of pressuring each other's ball handlers, and quite honestly, neither side has done a good enough job of making the game slow. You know, everybody wants to play fast, and that's true and good. However, when you play fast, oftentimes you make poor decisions.
Yeah.
And so what you have to do is you've got to be able to slow the game down enough, and I'm not talking about a half-court game, I'm just talking about your decision making, you know, to where you're not turning the ball over and such.
Nice take right there by Olden. Again, she can't finish. Nice rebound in the outlet by Duncan. Here's McGee with the spin move. And on top of that, we've had a lot of shots like that. Shots that have been good shots that just won't stay down for either team here in the first half.
You're right, and even a couple of Puenge shots at threes that were, you know, right there and just kind of rimmed in and out. Second half, I think we'll see that a little bit different.
Miracle Gray has that one partially blocked by Frazier, and that'll do it for the first half. So we'll take a break for halftime. When we get back, we'll catch you back here on Prospects Nation TV. Thanks for joining us. All right, thanks for joining us back here live from the PSB preseason shootout as we get ready to resume the action. Georgia Hoopstars taking on FBC Black. It was a defensive first half. A lot of good shots that just wouldn't stay down for either team. So we'll see what their fortunes are here in the second half as Swearinger has the ball for the Hoopstars over to Duncan.
That's a good shot there from Duncan. That's a shot that she's got to be more comfortable taking throughout the course of this summer. You know, if she can show that she'll make that shot, she's going to be a much better prospect long term by being able to knock down that 15, 17 footer.
You see the first points of the second half scored there by FBC.
I like that play there from Dixon from Collins Hill. Good shot. And this is one of those games, honestly, it's got that Wisconsin-Michigan State men's field, man, that knockdown, drag out.
Yeah.
You know, whoever's the first one to 35 is going to come home with the victory and play in the finals, man.
Olden with the ball right now. Gets it ahead to Miracle Gray.
Oh, good move. It's great. Odin and Gray, both of them have really, really improved their games. I think Odin's ability in wearing number 11 to facilitate the action, and then Gray's ability to score. They're already committed to go to Purdue, obviously. So she's going to have to bring the ability not only to facilitate, but also to be able to score the basketball. You can't go into that league and a top 25 program with that with Sharon Bursa and just handle it. You've got to be able to make some shots to give them some of the things that kids like KK Hauser and those kids have given them over the past 4 years.
Hoopstars with it again. Frazier with it up top. She's guarded by Pringle, who I look to be a little bit more aggressive here in the second half.
That's another good shot there by Duncan. It's rare that you say somebody's taking two good shots and they've missed them both, right?
She works inside, follows up, and gets that bucket to go. Always impressed with Duncan's versatility.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned Pringle a second ago. You see her bringing the ball up the floor. And this is an area of her game, kind of like we talked about with Michaela Coombs, that if she can add that, just the ability to function as a secondary ball handler. You're not going to play her at the point guard for long stretches. It's not her forte or specialty. You're taking her away from what she does well. But her ability to play 3 or 4 minute stretches on the ball allows you to go big. Now you can play potentially at the collegiate level a 5'11", a 6-foot wing with her alongside of her. She can defend the 1 through the 3. She just does a lot of different things. So adding that ball handling is only going to help.
There's Duncan.
And same thing with Duncan, but more so being able to handle the ball on the wing where you can legitimately play her as that small forward. Now you can go 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'4 on the front line instead of her always having to be at the 4. What a great interior pass there.
Oh, yeah. Nice by Saunders.
Oh, good kick. Now Frazier's their go-to scorer this summer, so those are the shots you want her taking. That's a clean look from the three-point line, one she's very capable of making.
Here's Pringle with it. She's guarded by Swearinger, who's no slouch on defense at all. That's Gray going to get called for the travel there.
I like Gray's aggressiveness in attacking the holder, though. That's twice now in a couple of minutes where she's trying to get herself into the rim, trying to make a play, man.
Just only going to help create more space for Dominique Olden and Pringle to be able to work.
No question. And Olden's a kid, and we saw it last summer, Marcus. Best of summer, summer kickoff, some of those events, they can attack it and can score it. Doing a great job defensively here on Alex Frazier. Made that a really tough shot.
Yeah.
Tough if you're Frazier. You know, you got such a clean look on the last possession that you would like to be able to get another clean look there and get yourself into a flow. That's a tough shot there. Hard dribble, change, nothing there, and you take a shot from 12 feet.
Back into the game for the Hoopstars, number 15, Ray Beeman, as well as number 21, McKenna Puenge.
Well, and that's that depth that J.D. Davis has at the guard spot. Tough move there by Swearinger. You know, doesn't lose anything, but he's going to need over the course of the summer, you know, those guards to step up and become more scoring threats and just consistent. You know, where you know that, hey, I can go to this kid, I can go to Beeman, I can go to Swearinger, I can get 2 quick buckets.
With the opportunity to get 2 buckets from the free throw line is going to be number 4, Deja Williford Kelly out of Lower Richland High School.
Well, Williford Kelly now has been with FBC for, you know, a full summer now, a second summer with them, played a little bit actually the summer before. An intriguing prospect in that, you know, has a lot of similarities to Caitlin Duncan, though they don't look anything alike in terms of the way they play and what they bring to the table. Similar to Ayanna Mitchell, once again, body type's different, looks different, but able to be impactful. The play she just made, catch, face, rip, go, draw the foul, and you got to get to the line and convert these free throws. But the versatility at the 4 spot is hard to come by.
She splashes the second one. 16-18 ball game. Just over 12 minutes left to play here in the second half. Swearinger with the cross.
Oh, great pass.
Uche unable to finish.
Like I said, this is one of those games. It's looking like a 35 spot to get you a W here.
Yeah.
You know, and great plays. You know, with a lot of times you see scores like this and the basketball is bad. Nice pick and roll, drag, second post. You're getting good basketball. It's just not, for whatever reason, getting the finishes that we're accustomed to seeing from both of these organizations.
There's Beeman. Get it to Duncan. Duncan inside to Uche. She gets another opportunity inside, misses. But she's working hard to make up for it. Too strong on that putback attempt.
Well, you got to be able to finish, and at some point, if you're not able to finish that shot, you're going to find yourself on the bench. You cannot give up those looks. And here we go, right away.
As Bernice McGriff, number 32 for the Hoopstars, checks in for Uche.
Well, it's interesting. We talked about Williford Kelly and Mitchell Swearinger at the same time. To see kids coming from different states to play with Atlanta-based teams because the talent is so good here. Both those kids, South Carolina natives, coming over to get quality run and making that sacrifice. You know, making that sacrifice to put themselves in a position as they battle each other for the rebound to be able to get college scholarships.
Strong rebound by Swearinger. She kicks it to Pawenge. Good look for her. Won't go, though.
It's just been one of those days, man. Even a kid like Pawenge, who is very capable of making that shot, just not dropping for her. Good move there by Gray. That's 3 times now since I've been on the microphone in 5 minutes that she has attacked the score. I know that, you know, assistant coach Nadine Morgan there at Purdue is her sister, and one of the things that Miracle talked to me about in an interview a couple of weeks ago was wanting to be more aggressive and more assertive offensively, knowing that that's one of the reasons that they went ahead and took the verbal commitment from her, because that would be a situation where she'd be able to come in at the guard spot and maybe provide them both depth and the opportunity to score.
Spray misses the first free throw. Second one on the way, count it. 17-18 ball game.
It's funny, you're watching 2 sideline veterans and Brian Harmon with FBC, J.D. Davis with Georgia Hoopstars, and neither one of them panicking. Obviously still trying to substitute to get the combinations they want to try to get some scoring, but neither panicking right now here. Still very early in the game for them.
Nice defense inside there by number 32 for FBC. We have an and one opportunity for Dominique Olden. Well, I think she'll be able to get looser as this game goes on. Hoopstars have just done a great job defensively on her up to this point.
Well, Olden's a kid that's never going to force the issue.
Yeah.
You know, her mom's sitting on the bench, Trudy, and had the opportunity to speak with her on multiple occasions about Dominique's game. And, you know, to watch her play, you see her take that free throw there, to watch her play and just kind of her style of play. Never going to force the issue, never going to try to do too much. Going to defend, going to score when open. And those are really the calling cards for a game, as you see her right there defending and getting inside. Look at this. Look at Williford Kelly match the energy there. Oden brings the energy. Williford Kelly matches that energy.
Nice defensive possession there by FBC. We're going to have a timeout. 10 minutes, 7 seconds left to play here in this second half. Thanks for watching the PSB preseason shootout. We've already had 2 semifinal matchups webcast. Those are some from the Stephen Peck PSB bracket. Here, this game and the next webcast will determine who plays in the championship in the Brandon Clay PSB bracket.
It's finally my turn, man. We're rotating out. I looked at the schedules for next weekend already. I don't get any televised games, man. It's rough out here for me.
No doubt, man. Good to have Kyle Moore, PSB. He's got a bracket, one of his brackets here at this event. He's in town with us, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, it's a rarity these days. He's normally jet-setting somewhere, man. That Delta Gold Medallion life.
The buzzer sounded. FBC's out here and ready. You also want to pay note to number 33 in the blue jerseys for FBC, Lindsay Marchese.
She's got great hands, man. She's got great hands. She catches everything thrown. Great kid on top of all that. but everything thrown in her direction. Had a good year for Archer, helped them get to the state championship game, just a freshman. Plenty of room for growth there for her. You see her posting up, calling for the basketball. She was not doing those kinds of things a year ago.
Coach Davis is going to match her up with Bernice McGriff. So McGriff definitely not one to shy away from it, but she's got a lot to deal with inside if she's going to be paired up with Marchese.
Well, that's one of those things where if you're McGriff, you almost have to let her catch it and then hope she can't score it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to front her, and trying to play half man, half deny is not going to work given the size advantage. So you almost have to resort to playing her behind. Don't let her bury you in the middle of the post. Make her catch it mid-post, 8 to 10 feet, maybe even 12 feet out, and then hope she's not able to convert.
Miracle Gray continues to be aggressive. She gets another trip to the free throw line here.
Well, now once you've done this, now you want to make yourself an elite free throw shooter. You know, now if you're Gray, you're getting to the free throw line. The next progression is making sure you can convert, you know, at an 82 to 87% clip. You know, if you're a guard, you want to be shooting, you know, really mid-80s ideally. Obviously, the best guards in the world are shooting highs and low 90s. So if you can get yourself even into the low 80s, right there around 82, but, you know, 85 to 87 is ideal if you're going to get to the free throw line, and she converts both of those. And slowly but surely now, free throws have put FBC in lead of this game.
They lead by 3. Alexandra Frazier has it. She leaves Tia Shorter. Floater won't stay down for her.
J.D. Davis has to be like, what is going on here? That's about as good a shot as a kid like Frazier is going to get, seeing the defensive pressure she's seeing. Oh, great play there by McGriff to step in front. Duncan got her hand on that one. Oh, great pass. Ooh, tough finish on the left side there for Puenge. I almost thought she should have gone out right.
Yeah.
But in this case, she knew better than I did. Great move, great finish.
Finished by Puenge. Nice dish there by Beeman. Makes it a 20-21 ball game. Jasmine Robinson with it.
Good D. Oh, a little long. Able to corral it though and keep it in. Good plays here by the Hoopstars though. And there's Frazier. A kid like that is going to hit at some point. I thought the floater was going to be it for her, but it turns around and it's a nice 15-foot mid-range. You see why college coaches up and down the eastern seaboard are interested, whether it be Southern Miss, Charlotte. A lot of people have been reaching out. Even Alabama called last week, you know, on Frazier to J.D. Davis, wondering where she was going to be in April. She'll be with us at Tip-Off Classic.
Here she is on the fast break, just after knocking the jumper.
This might be a timeout for Brian Harmon. That's how you know I've watched too many Brian Harmon coach games. You could feel that one coming.
Right, just as you were saying it, he was signaling for a 30. Frazier will go to the free throw line.
It looks like he's decided against it. Didn't get it immediately, and looks like he's going to decide against it and pocket that one for later. The Hoopstars, though, on a 7-0 run. You can't pocket it too long.
Yeah. As this Hoopstars pressure, one of their calling cards over the years, is applied. FBC able to get it across the timeline.
Oh, they got it on the backside. That's the way to break it. That's the way to break it. And once again, the industry veteran, Brian Harmon, deciding against the timeout, letting his team play through it, and they're able to get a basket. Now, I'm telling you, if she gets rolling, it's a problem. Now, one of the things that I look for J.D. Davis to do, and if not in this game, definitely over the course of the season, is run some things to get Frazier some offside action. Everything she's getting right now is primary, where she's having to try to create it with the ball in her hand. So if you can mix that, oh, great block there by Duncan. If you can mix that with some offside action, now you make the game a little bit easier for her.
Griff misses. Beeman gonna bring it back out. Duncan with another block.
She's so good defensively, just her instincts, whether it be rebounding the ball, blocking the ball. You wouldn't expect it when you look at her because of her frame that's slight.
Yeah.
And once again, you catch Frazier in a position where there's a defender right there, the closeout, the hand up and everything. She's having to try to make a tough shot. If you can get her a down screen, a pin down, something where there's some action, and then you get the ball in her hand already on the move and on the go, now she's a lot more effective, and that way a lot like Klay Thompson from Golden State, the way that Mark Jackson is using him right now.
Be an intriguing first-round playoff matchup. We see the spin cycle there by Swearinger.
Good move.
She gets fouled to go to the line and shoot two.
She's been a great addition to this Georgia Hoopstars program. You know, a kid that's getting obviously a lot of love from inside of her own state, whether it be USC, Upstate, Furman, all involved in the recruiting.
It's a lot of positive vibes going for the topic of women's basketball in the state of South Carolina right now.
No question. Don Staley's got that thing rolling. Like what Audra Smith and those guys have going on there at Clemson. We're able to steal some wins inside of the conference this year, honestly, on some nights where on paper you didn't think they would get it. They found a way to get it done. It speaks volumes to what they're doing.
4-point advantage for the Georgia Hoopstars. Ragsdale over to Shorter.
Ragsdale was good at EBA Top 40. Be interesting to see what she does here today inside of actual gameplay. But she was good at the workout and even inside of our scrimmage games.
Nice defense by Puenge.
Well, you talked about that signature pressure. That's a tough shot there, but look at Swin. She's always playing hard.
Yeah.
Her and Duncan together, their motors are always running and always moving. And Rain Beeman brings a lot of those things too when she's on the floor. That's what Odin does right there, facilitates the action. We talked about the hands. Talked about the hands there for Lindsay. Great catch and finish there, Marcus.
And she eats contact, welcomes it.
It's funny, you know, I think the natural comparison, player comparison, I think we've mentioned this on the broadcast before, you know, as a kid like Tori Waldner at Penn State. But Lindsay's different than Tori was at this age in that she's able to finish some of those plays offensively a little bit smoother than where Tori was at this same stage coming out of her freshman year, which speaks highly to how we feel about the progression that Marchese's going to be able to make over the next couple of years.
Substitutions for the Georgia Hoopstars back into the game. Number 22, Uche, as well as number 24, Raquel Cranston.
Tough play, Frazier. And they're going to need Uche to finish. She's going to get a couple more opportunities. They need her to convert those baskets right now. They're on a run. And we talked about 35 getting it done, but the game has picked up. It might take 40 at this point.
Yeah. As we have a near steal there by Swearinger. Ball goes out of bounds. Dominique Olden has it. It's been a few minutes since Deandra Pringle has been back at the game. It'll be interesting to see how much longer she sits.
Yeah, I would think with the 5-minute mark coming, you'll see her go back in there sooner than later.
Ball's loose, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrows pointing over to the Hoopstars.
In a lot of ways, what Pringle provides, that secondary ball handler, is what FBC is going to need going down the stretch. Another kid who can defend on the perimeter, as you see Swearinger with the open transition bucket, and another kid who can handle it on the perimeter. So that it's not just Odin out there having to try to make a play.
Yeah. Nice defense there by Swearinger. She takes another batch of cookies and goes in for the layup drill.
Timeout here for Harmon.
We talked about mic'd up. It would probably be pretty interesting to have this conversation, this timeout conversation mic'd up.
Well, you know, the thing I like about, you know, Coach Harmon is you see Pringle and Gray going back into the game for the reasons that we just mentioned. But he does a really good job of never being too high or being too low.
Yep.
You know, so right now, okay, they just made a run, threw a couple of haymakers at us. We've got to recover. We've got to get this game back in the 5-6 area right there around the 3-minute mark. Put ourselves in a position to win the game. And you could tell even with his demeanor, it wasn't demonstrative, wasn't you know, it was very relaxed. You could see him, he's always teaching. You know, even back to my days when I met him in the late 90s here at Sewanee Sports Academy, he's always been a teacher of the game. Had an opportunity to spend some time with his brother Craig last night, and Brian and Craig have done a great job with this FBC program.
Coach's squad gonna look to try and reverse this 10-point deficit. They've got plenty of time to be able to do that. Just over the 5-minute mark.
Well, Swearinger and Frazier kind of got rolling. And you see Odin right away now, the insertion of Gray and the insertion of Pringle Allow Odin now that space that we mentioned earlier. When you're playing with other guards that can handle it, now you don't have to be the full-time facilitator. You can kind of get off the ball and play a different role.
And you've got a relatively fresh DeAndre Pringle.
No question.
Checking into the game. She's number 1 in the blue jerseys.
I love the whole compression sleeve look, man. The three-quarter pants, the long sleeve shirt. It's good stuff.
Here's Duncan.
That's a great pass there. That's a great pass. She threw the ball where it was supposed to be, almost like a wide receiver quarterback connection there. Threw the ball where Frazier was supposed to go. Frazier winds up there. There's Pringle in the open floor. I told you it wouldn't be long. Once they got Gray and Pringle back, give them an opportunity to cut this thing right back to 6 like we talked about.
Yep, it's been an increase in the bucket since then, and it's been an increase
great
in the
finish there by Alex Frazier.
Yes, sir.
Left hand, looked like she was going to right on left that, and then switched it right at the end to finish with the left. That's a great finish.
Nice one right there. That Frazier bucket makes it an 8-point advantage. Gray. Dixon wants it inside. Instead, they get it over to Odin. Odin for 3.
Tough shot. They had just gotten 2 layups in a row. You look at what they were able to do with Pringle and Odin. Same thing I talked about with the Frazier 3 a minute ago. Not that those are bad shots, especially early in the game, but the later you get, especially inside of 7-8 minutes, every possession is so crucial. You want layups, you want easy jump shots, you want rhythm jump shots, and neither of those 2 shots, whether it was Odin's or Frazier's several possessions ago, were rhythm jump shots.
Yeah. Here's Gray. Back out top to Odin.
That was a nice kick there. Honestly, Gray had over-penetrated, but had the presence of mind to still be able to pivot out of that and find the open player back out top. Oh, great play. Oh, Frazier sees the contact, avoids it, and still finishes. That's 2 great finishes around the rim. Going back to what I'm saying, those are the shots right now on either side of the action, whether you're Brian Harmon down 10 or J.D. Davis up 10, that you want.
Odin over to Dixon. Little high-low action.
Nice. Oh, my gosh, everything but the basket. What a great move on the interior there.
Yeah. Swearingen going to slow it down a little bit. 10-point advantage for the Hoopstars.
Probably a good timeout call there. Go ahead, secure it, talk to your team. Game's a little different now. Up 10, under 3 minutes left to go. And we talked about FBC. They had gotten back in striking distance.
They have. They've got 2 minutes, 43 seconds to work with, and they've shown, you talked about Coach Harmon's poise. They've shown poise. Maybe not the best shot selection each possession, but it hasn't been due to, panic or anything of that nature, or trying to hit the 8 or 9 point shot to get it all back in one stroke.
No question. I think with the exception, like we talked about the Odin 3, with the exception of that Odin 3, which was just an ill-timed shot.
Yeah.
The shot itself wasn't bad, just the timing of it maybe was a little off. Great post feed in there. Lindsay does everything but get the ball to fall in. That's a great shot. It doesn't go in, but she took a left-handed shot from 5 feet. You can't ask for a better shot than that. So continuing to put yourself in those possessions where you're able to get those types of shots, there's not a lot more you can ask for. Williford Kelly has played well. Pringle, they just have not been able to get the offensive consistency where the Hoopstars were able to get rolling. Remember, a short time ago, we were talking 35. FBC still honestly is on pace for that 35, and the Hoopstars had that little blitz, mainly because of Alex Frazier and Swearingen, where they took off and scored about 17 points in about a 3.5-minute span.
We appear ready to resume play from the timeout. For the Hoopstars, you've got Swearingen, Poinge, Duncan, Frazier, and Saunders. For FBC, you've got Gray, Marchese, Odin, Dixon, and Pringle.
That's important here. I was just about to say it's important not to be trying to do too much here.
Yeah.
And stay in your offense. I think they've been able to do a great job. Trying to ISO break down for the sake of ISO breaking down is probably not the smartest move. You want to ISO break down to still score. Still too much time on the clock to be stalling.
Yeah.
You want to run your sets to try to score it. If you can get a layup as a byproduct, then that's great.
Here's Frazier. She's definitely going to be one that's tried to be aggressive.
And there it was. You saw it beat the first line. Second line comes over. Now they call a foul on the first line with the push there, the hand check. But she was going to have the second line help there with Brianna Sanders' play and be able to get a layup off of that.
2:06 left to play. Lead still sits at 10 for the Hoopstars. Gray going to pick the foul up there.
Still outside of the 2-minute mark, so we're not in the last two fouls of the half situation as we will be inside of the 2-minute mark.
Rain Beeman checks back into the game, number 15 for the Hoopstars. Having a seat going to be number 42, Brianna Saunders.
And with them playing the offense they're playing, I can definitely see why J.D. Davis makes that offense for defense substitution. Wanting to make sure you've got ball handles on the floor. Now you're forcing, Lindsay to come all the way out and have to make that play 40 feet away from the bucket. Still outside of the 2-minute mark. So now the next two fouls will put the Hoopstars on the line. Here's one. And the next one will put them on the line here. They'll be shooting 1-and-1 for the duration of the game.
FBC going to make them go to the free throw line and knock down some free throws here.
I think that's always smart. You want to extend the game.
Yeah.
You want to create more possessions, especially down 10. You want to put yourself in a position, if you're Brian Harmon, where you're going to get another 8, maybe 9 shots on goal. You're not going to be able to win this for 5 more shots. Right. So you've got to put them on the line, hope that they're missing, and give you a chance to get 8 or 9 looks. They only convert 2 or 3 of theirs, and you're able to come back.
If I'm picking a player that fits my plan of getting some free throw misses, Caitlin Duncan, I jinxed her. I was just going to say normally a pretty decent free throw shooter. Off on that one.
She does her defense, so she does normally shoot that well. But if you're Brian Harmon, this is exactly what you want. It's why you fouled so quickly. You now put yourself in a position where you're going to literally get it back. 10 seconds later, the score did not change, and you're going to be going the right way.
Ray gets it to Pringle.
The catch is, this is that hurry-up offense stuff, though. You've got to play with a purpose, but you've got to play quickly. You only got about 15 seconds of possession to play with, and they use all 15 and don't even get a shot on goal. That's not what you want there. You really want Johnny Manziel in the game burst Duke.
Get in and get to it.
Jump ball, but it's going to go right back to FBC. That's a big break for them if they can convert here with a shot. It's as if they never left.
It's great.
The tough part is just taking them so long to score. At this point, they've had the basketball, Marcus, for almost 30 seconds of game time, and they just get a shot off that doesn't convert. We talked about them needing 8, maybe 9 shots, and they only got 8 to 9 possessions, excuse me. They've only gotten 1 possession out of a 35 seconds run off of full game time. That's not going to get it done when you're down 10. You really needed multiple possessions, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get enough to shoot themselves back into the game. And it looks like my 35 might hold up, man.
That's what it's looking like. They get the first free throw to go. They could definitely use some assistance from the Georgia Hoopstars if they're able to get back into this one, maybe a turnover here or there.
They're going to need some help because they still are down. 3 possessions at absolute minimum, and there's a little help, man.
As FBC gets it back after that turnover, a little bit of miscommunication between Duncan and Swearinger. As Brianna Saunders, number 42, checks back into the game for the Hoopstars. Pringle to inbounder for FBC.
Well, we talk about that defensive substitution there. Want to try to make sure you secure any rebounds that come off the glass, and you got a body big enough to be able to block out Marchese in case that happens. Oh, great pass on the interior. Great pass from Gray. And great awareness there from Lindsay's standpoint to be able to catch it, feel it real quick, and still get a quality shot off and finish it. Brian Harmon with a nice timeout call there. Still every bit of a chance to come back and win this game, but they're still going to need probably another 5 possessions or so on goal to be able to get it done.
Yeah, you touched on it. Just love Marchise's ability,
Oh, man.
just as a freshman to be able to do that.
You got hands like baseball gloves in that regard, catching everything thrown. We should give her a gold glove at the end of the game.
No doubt. She has that touch, and we also know she's got the strength side of things covered as well.
Well, she finishes with both hands. I think that's the thing that's most impressive to me. In addition to her hands, is her ability to utilize her left and her right hand around the bucket. We saw the nice left hand half hook, Marcus, but then we see the right hand ability right there to try to get a nice little clean shot on goal as well.
Or the Hoopstars, I guess all's well that ends well.
Oh. Not bad though if you're FBC, man. You take up 5 seconds of game clock, you almost get a steal, and you're able to put a post player on the free throw line. If you're Brian Harmon, with the exception of coming away with that steal right there, you can't draw it up much better than that.
Yeah. So Saunders out of Stevenson High School at the free throw line. Misses the first, rebound by Marchese.
Once again, you put a post player on the line and force them to beat you from the line there. Oh, nice move by Gray.
FBC needs to get a shot up.
Odin's got one. Odin's got one. Nice pull up there.
So it's a 5-point game after that Odin bucket.
And
FBC going to send Swearinger to the line.
Again, FBC has done a great job of extending the game through fouls. They immediately took advantage of the last 2-minute rule. 2 quick fouls. By the 154 mark, you got the Hoopstars shooting. And now you're forcing them to have to win this game at the free throw line. If they can go 8 for 8, 10 for 10 down the stretch, well, so be it. Great win. Y'all got us. Very much like Wisconsin was able to do in the tournament as they moved into the Final Four. They were able to advance off of free throw shooting.
That one in and out. Marchese gets the rebound. It's a 5-point advantage. We'll see what FBC can do.
It's interesting because with every free throw miss from the Georgia Hoopstars, it takes a possession away that FBC needs to be able to score it to win.
Saunders has it stolen by Gray.
Oh, and it's great because that was the pinnacle. Oh, as Swearinger takes a little bump there. That was the pinnacle of offensive, defensive substitutions there. Saunders, who is in for defensive purposes, gets caught on the offensive end, throws the ball away, but immediately gets the play back on the defensive end where she's in the game for it regardless. As Tara Cooper walks by enjoying this game out here.
She'll be up next here on Prospects Nation TV as her and the AOT Lady Rebels take on the Atlanta Lady Celtics.
Frazier finally hits a free throw. The Hoopstars have struggled from the line. That's the first point they've scored since FBC has put them on the line at the 154 mark.
In and out free throw for Frazier. Here's Odin, and that is gone.
It's amazing. They needed Frazier's free throw. They needed one more point as Odin hits the jumper there. Great win for J.D. Davis and his crew. Game got live there in the last, couple of minutes, Marcus. Great run. We talked about Brian Harmon being the industry veteran, not panicking. His team didn't panic. Great showing there for both teams.
Most definitely. It ends up with the Georgia Hoopstars being victorious. Thanks for joining us here on Prospects Nation TV. We'll have our next matchup, the Atlanta Lady Celtics versus AOT. Be sure to stick with us.